Hello everyone, watch this review here where they look at Charbroil from the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra line. Picked them up on clearance for $1. Was hoping that they'd get more of them in, or, be able to find more of these for cheap just for army building purposes. No such luck, but, kind of cool standalone figure. Hold on a second and I'll get him out of pack. Charbroil comes with a stand with his name on it. This giant cannon here, which shoots a missile. I love the fact that it's just so outrageously huge. I mean, look at this. It's as tall as the figure itself. I mean, can you actually imagine somebody trying to carry something like this around? Just defies all plausibility. Good firing range. But yeah, really neat item. I'm not sure if I'd be able to even pose the figure holding it, but we'll try to find out. His flamethrower device here. A backpack with just cans of whatever flammable liquids in there. And then a cord, which I'm trying to figure out where it actually attaches. It looks like it fits onto the bottom of the gun here. Then I believe it just hooks onto this, but there also is a peg on the tank here near the top and over here. I don't know if that's just decoration or what, but yeah, for the time being, I'm just gonna do that. The gun looks like it's supposed to fit into... Hold on a second. Alright, so we can hold the flamethrower in either hand, although in the package he is depicted as holding it in his right. Now this cord is kind of a nuisance where, no matter how you mess with it, it seems like a bundle with a ton of the length left over. I'm still not sure if I actually have it attached in the right spot, but let me toss the tank on the back. I mean, offhand, I would assume the tank would be up like this, but maybe it's actually the opposite direction. Doesn't peg in all that well either. Yeah, but I mean, you see the spigots, typically you'd assume the spigots would be up. Now I wish they would have had instructions with this. It's kind of whatever. But yeah, this is what he looks like holding his flamethrower. As for the figure itself, no real paint detailing to speak of. We just have some darkening on the chest piece here. It's mostly just solid colors, which is kind of why he works as an army builder. So you don't really need a lot of detail for that stuff. And the more basic the colors, the better, because it sort of shows up a bit more when they're all together. Now you'll notice that he has a pistol in his side holster that's just sculpted in, not removable. Actually, let me just give you a quick run through of articulation, because it doesn't look like there's a lot else to say about this figure. We have a point of rotation here at the wrist, ball and socket at the elbow, ball jointed shoulder. The head is will rotate. It should also go up and down, but maybe it doesn't, just because the chest plate is takes up so much room. We have a upper torso joint here, no waist joint, probably because they had to sculpt on this belt and this other pack on this back here. Ball jointed hip, double jointed knee, then a ball and socket at the ankle. Pretty standard figure, although, he's supposedly a sort of normal character, stuff like this where you have a heavily armored individual. They work as troop builders and stuff, and army builders and everything. It's just really annoying to plug this in. If you'll notice that there's a hole in the chest plate, and then underneath it there's a second hole, so you have to kind of loop it in through both. You also notice that underneath the helmet here there's a silver portion. That's the same stuff that's for the goggles, which is kind of weird, but let's just quickly try to toss the giant gun in there for kicks. You can of course hold it. For some reason, there it goes. I mean, I'm not sure how a person could reasonably expect to hold something this huge, because I imagine that the weight would be also up there. And, you know, just as for the figure itself, the wrist just isn't strong enough to really support the gun, so you'd have to position the arm out a lot to the side so it'd lean in. And of course his arms you'd have to really mess around with to get the other hand around the first portion. Can he stand with it? Well, with the assistance of his little included stand here, everything pegged in, it does actually seem to hold the weapon, but over time I imagine the knee joints will loosen because G.I. Joes tend to have a problem with that, at least from the modern ones that I've purchased. So, I mean, yeah, he will hold it today, but tomorrow, who can say? All in all, not a terribly impressive figure, but I did pick him up cheap, so no real loss. And even though I won't be able to use him for full-on army building, he will be an interesting addition to my collection. Until next time, folks.